Attention, stations on the network. Our broadcast will begin in 15 minutes from my mark. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, mark. That was your 15-minute time check, stations. Attention, stations on the network. Our broadcast will begin in 10 minutes from my mark. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, mark. That was your 10-minute time check, stations. Attention, stations on the network. Our broadcast will begin in 5 minutes from my mark. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, mark. That was your 5-minute time check, stations. Attention, stations on the network. Our broadcast will begin in 2 minutes from my mark. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, mark. That was your 2-minute time check, stations. Attention, stations on the network. Our broadcast will begin in 1 minute from my mark. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, mark. That was your 1-minute time check, stations.
on the Colorado State Sports Network from Learfield, live from CB and Potts Restaurant and Tap Room in Fort Collins. Welcome to the Coors Light Jay Norvell Coaches Show, brought to you by Coors Light, Mountain Cold Refreshment. Choose chill. Golden, Colorado. Celebrate responsibly. CB and Potts Restaurant and Tap Room. This is where football fans celebrate. Meet your friends at CB and Potts, Collindale. Also by Canvas Credit Union, the official credit union of Colorado State Athletics. Live from CB and Potts Restaurant and Tap Room in Fort Collins, here's the voice of the Rams, Brian Roth.
All right, after a week off, we are back in business. CB and Potts Restaurant and Tap Room. It's the Coors Light Jay Norvell Coaches Show. Great to have everybody with us. A packed house here this evening. Welcome, one and all, and welcome to everybody joining us on Facebook Live and joining us across the Colorado State Sports Network. Brian Roth with you, voice of the Rams. We are all set to talk Colorado State Ram football over the course of the next hour. And please welcome in the man of the hour, head coach Jay Norvell to the show. Jay, good seeing you.
Brian. Thank you. Thank you very much.
You got the week off last week, so here you are back in the hot seat.
We don't use that word off.
Yeah, that's right. No, I mean, you got a week off from the radio show. Yeah. Wednesday from 6 to 7, you got to do whatever you wanted to.
That's right. No, we had a really good week last week. We had a bye week, and there is an advantage to having a bye week this time of year. You know, with the rosters having so many new players, it's just great to get another week of practice in and work on things that you need to work on. And so we really used last week to improve and get better. Our coaches went on the road. We practiced Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Then our coaches go on the road Thursday, Friday, and recruit. And then the coordinators, we stuck around Thursday and had a practice with our guys. And plus our guys got a chance to freshen up and get healthy, and so there's a lot of positives to having a bye week this time of year.
Yeah, Rams sitting at 1-1 on the season, coming off that victory against Northern Colorado on Ag Day, which seems like a long time ago. It was only a week and a half, and now they're going to close out the non-conference with a pair of home games. That includes a contest against the Roadrunners of UTSA on Saturday night. Late night affair at Canvas Stadium, 7:30 is the kickoff, so make sure to bring your energy drinks, coffee, whatever you need to stay up for that one. It should be a great crowd, and it should be a great atmosphere. Well, as Jay mentioned, the bye week and a chance to get back to some of those fundamentals, chance to get out on the recruiting trail. You know, college football has changed. I mean, I'm guessing back when you played, there were no bye weeks, but now it seems like every team has 2 bye weeks these days.
Yeah, we do. We have 2 this year. Some years you have 1, some years you have 2, but it's good if they're spread out, and this year they're spread out for us. You know, I do like having an early bye with all the new players, and I know I've said that before, but you know, we have half of our starting lineup is pretty much new players and transfer players, and especially our defensive guys. And you know, we went to Seattle, and you know, I said, yeah, we got a bunch of new guys playing their first game, you know, on the road in Seattle. And then we come home, and I realized we got about half our team that's never played in Canvas either. And so it's every week is a new environment until we start playing together. And so we got a chance to play together at home. We got a chance to play on the road. And now we got a real chance to go back out on the field and take another step in our execution and playing together. When
you go into a bye week, is there a point of emphasis or a few areas that, hey, look, we're going to get better in A, B, and C, or is it more of a general sharpening in fundamentals?
No, I think we've been working for about 8 months to establish certain style of play in each phase of our football, offense, defense, and special teams. And so it's an opportunity for us to go back and retool, maybe add a few things, maybe take a few things out. We went back last week and simplified. We took a lot of things out, tried to do less, and try to really clear up our kids' minds so they could play fast, and really went back to some kind of old school things in the passing game that we've had a lot of success with in the past, and you know, really trying to get Braden and his rhythm going with these new receivers. And so got a lot of work done last week with that.
Yeah, you had mentioned in the post game of the UNC contest and even last week about Braden said, look, he's got to get better. Braden knows that he's got to be a little bit sharper. What have you seen out of Braden that's kind of led to the, I guess, slower start, and what have you seen from him that gives you confidence moving forward?
I mean, I think he didn't play well in the first half last week, and we played 8 quarters of football, and I think the first 2 quarters when we played in Seattle, we played really complimentary football, offense, defense, back and forth. I think in the second half of last week's game, we played complimentary football. We scored on 3 of our 5 drives on offense. We did a good job on defense, getting off the field, getting a turnover, played well at the very end of the game. So those are all things that we want to build on as a team, and we have to play complementary football. We're not dominant on defense or dominant on offense enough that unit's going to carry us. We have to play together, and that's pouring on runs and completions on offense. We've got to do a better job of that, getting off the field defensively, and really limiting their big and explosive plays. And we did a lot of that in spurts, but we got to do it more consistently.
You guys did run the football very well against Northern Colorado, 230 rushing yards, and ran the football when you had to. I thought in particular the second half. You have, I think, mentioned, maybe it was on this show, maybe it was to me in another conversation, but you really do feel like this running back core that you have is probably the strongest position group on the team.
They're really talented. Jalen Dupree, I know Jalen was here and visited with everybody. Really good back. And Lloyd Avant is an excellent player as well. And then, we got Javion Kennard, a young freshman, goes out there, makes a big play early in the game. And so we got good backs, and we want to get them the ball. We want to get them the ball in the second level and have them make more explosive plays. And we also want our quarterbacks to add to the running game. So we're just getting warmed up in what we can do.
Yeah, you mentioned Javion Kennard. I got to tell you, you threw me for a loop on the TV broadcast. I have these spot charts I have, and it has 2 deep, so you have 22 players on each one. And opening play of the game, it's number 24 running the football. And I'm just like, my spot charts are out the window. I'm searching for the roster. I'm like, who is 24? And I'm sure a lot of people in the crowd here tonight are thinking the same thing. Javion Kennard, he's a true freshman from Nashville, Tennessee. Tell us a little bit about Javion, because I know you had mentioned him once or twice during the fall. I wasn't expecting to see him so early.
Yeah, I mean, we have a lot of height and weight criteria for players, but running backs are kind of different. We don't really care how tall they are running through the hole. We just want them to be able to make people miss and make yards. And so Javion's one of those guys. He's not very tall, but he's super elective. He's quick as a hiccup, and he's just hard to catch. And so he's done a fabulous job in practice. We just have to find a way to get him on the field, with all the other backs that we have. But we're going to continue to try to find ways to do that as we move forward.
So you have basically 4 running backs you feel good with in the run game, and obviously Justin Marshall, leading returning rusher from season ago, Jalen Dupree, who has had a great start. We saw Lloyd Avant, a couple touchdowns against Northern Colorado, now Javion Kennard. I'm curious, when you go into a game, do you have an idea of how many carries each of those guys get? And how do you do that to make sure, hey, you're keeping guys fresh, but B, I know it's for a running back. You want to establish a rhythm and kind of get in there too.
Yeah, and Jeremy Moses does a great job with our running backs. And, if a guy has a hot hand, we kind of let him ride a little bit. But we also want to try to get different guys involved. And there's only one football, so it's not easy to do. But we have a lot of guys capable of making plays with the football. Taj is another guy. He's a guy that we want to continue to keep getting involved as much as we can, along with those running backs. So, we do have a plan. We go into a game with a plan, and it depends on how the game flows sometimes, whether you can take advantage of those things. But we're going to use every opportunity to get those backs to football.
Yeah, but indeed. They all of them look very impressive. And Lloyd Avant, I mean, that was kind of his game to shine. And the question is, who's going to shine coming up on Saturday night? One of those guys, you have a sneaking suspicion is going to have a big game. A couple more thoughts as we will move forward towards UTSA and what's a big non-conference game against a very good group of 5 program that Jeff Traylor has built there. But, you turn the ball over 5 times against UNC. How do you coach your guys up in the bye week mentally to kind of teach them the lessons but not have it kind of carry over into the next game? And sometimes those things can be fluky as well.
5 times is surreal. I mean, about everything that could go wrong in that game went wrong last week. And you're going to have nights like that sometimes, and you just got to find a way to get through it. The good thing was that we didn't lose the game, and we learned some valuable lessons. And so that's just a blessing. It was an act of God that we didn't lose the game. And so, and I have been very grateful ever since. But you have to learn from those situations. And, I really, over almost 4 decades, I cannot remember 5 turnovers. We had one night when I was with the Indianapolis Colts, Peyton had 5, and that was the famous Jim Mora explosion playoffs.
The playoffs.
Yeah, that was. But that just doesn't happen very often. And to win a game after having 5 turnovers, it just. And I said it Monday in my press conference. Is we're very disappointed. We're not happy about how we played by any means, but the things that we're asking our kids to do and the character of our players and the way they stick together gave them an opportunity to win that game. What we did defensively in the second half, what we did offensively, I mean, we didn't have the lead till there was 46 seconds left in the game when Braden took us down and he scored that touchdown. And so, those are the things that are allowing us to stay together as a team, to have the right attitude, and to fight all the way to the end and give yourself a chance to win.
Yeah, I'd be remiss not to mention the defense. And you look at that game, the defense played well. I mean, you hold an opponent to 223 total yards, check. You'll take that every single week. Hold them to 63 yards. Rushing, yeah, you'll take that every week. 3 of 14 on third downs. And I think the thing that impressed me the most, I think it was a 5th turnover late in the game. You guys are going down, and it could be deflating. 5 minutes to go. It's like, oh, my gosh. Like, this is just the football gods don't want you to win.
Yep.
What does your defense come out and do? 3 and out, and I think maybe 90 seconds went off the clock, and they got your offense the ball right back. I thought the defense played pretty well considering some of the positions they got put in.
No, I was proud of our defense, and the turnover they got was huge for the short field in the second half. And then we just settled down and played good football the second half. And that's like I'm saying, we played in spurts very well. We've got a good group of kids, and I'm very, very excited about what we can accomplish. And this is a huge week. When we looked at our schedule, UTSA over the last 5 years has been one of the top group of 5 programs in the country. Tulane, Memphis, Liberty, Boise, those have been the top group of 5 schools. And so we've been looking forward to this team coming here, and this will be a real measuring stick for our program. Jeff's done a good job. I've known Jeff a long time. He was a high school coach in East Texas. We worked together at the University of Texas, spent a lot of time together, lived together for about 4 months on 6th Street in Austin, Texas. And so so I know Jeff, but he's done a really good job with the team, and he's got good football players in that program.
Yep, UTSA picked to finish 4th in the American Conference. We'll talk about UTSA with Coach Norvell coming up here in just a moment. Also want to introduce the guests that we have here tonight. If you listen to the show, come to the show, you always know we have 2 student athletes and an assistant coach. So Brian Hansen, the punter, is in here with us. He's a Texas kid. Give him a nice round of applause. We'll talk to Brian. He is off to an excellent start to the season. We have a newcomer, Isaiah Hankins. He's the starting place kicker. He's in the house tonight. He's with his lovely wife and his child. That's incredible. And then we have Well, this guy just never brings the energy. Tommy Perry, special teams coach, is in the house. He's going to put everybody to sleep. But that's the lineup that we have here tonight. All right, we'll take our first time out. It's the Coors Light Jay Norvell Coaches Show. We're back to CBN Potts after this right here on the Colorado State Sports Network from Learfield.
Coors Light presents To Chill or Not to Chill. When your friend skips your favorite song on the playlist. End of friendship. Or choose chill because that song lives rent-free in your head anyway. And you're planned ahead by bringing Coors Light to the party. And the sound of that ice-cold can cracking open was music to your ears already. Coors Light. Choose chill.
Celebrate responsibly. 2025 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.
Dear football fans, elevate your game with a tough-as-nails Toyota truck. Tacoma's a big-time playmaker. Tundra's a tailgating MVP that works hard and plays even harder. And the 4Runner's a Hall of Famer when it comes to rugged roads. Visit Toyota.com to learn more or check out your local Toyota dealership today. Toyota, let's go places.
Visit Peterson Toyota in Fort Collins today.
Friday Night Lights is back at CBN Potts. Join us Friday, September 26th for a community celebration beginning at 3 p.m. and continuing throughout the evening. Family fun for all and includes free live music by Funky Business, cranking up at 5 o'clock. There's food and beverage tents, kids' bouncy houses, and face painters too. It's the perfect kickoff party for your CSU football weekend. Sorry, no fireworks this year. It's still gonna be a blast. Join us September 26th at CBN Potts at Collindale.
Life is loud, chaotic, hilarious, and occasionally peaceful. Your life fits you. So why settle for life insurance that fits someone else? At Shelter Insurance, our local agents help you design a personal protection plan backed by award-winning customer service. To get started, find an agent at shelterinsurance.com. We're your shield. We're your shelter. Shelter Life Insurance Company, Columbia, Missouri.
As the official credit union of CSU, Canvas is here to help you live your best Ram life. Our Rams Plus credit card gives you triple points on gas and groceries, but there's so much more. You get rewards when you buy Rams tickets, concessions, and anything from the campus bookstore to show your Ram pride. For us, it's about more than banking. It's about the green and gold. Learn more today at canvas.org.
Back in 90.
I'm a photographer, so my sight is my livelihood, literally. When I suddenly risked losing it, I had to tap into my vision, the one I'd never lose.
After recovering from an orbital abscess, Adonier is taking pictures again, keeping his eyes healthy and knowing he'll always have his eye for art. He's living like there is a tomorrow. See his story at uchealth.org/tomorrow. UC Health. Live extraordinary.
Back in 60.
This is Dan Kaplis. I represent seriously injured people. Our firm is the official law firm partner of the CSU Rams, the Denver Nuggets, and the Colorado Avalanche because we have that same ferocious commitment to winning, and we win at a historic level. We accept righteous injury cases on a percentage fee basis. We have offices in Fort Collins, Greeley, Loveland, and the Denver Tech Center. If you need our help, please call 970-785-5000 or hit dankaplislaw.com.
Back in 30.
Ready to level up your game? Gear up for an action-packed season with Elite Sports and NoCo Football. Whether you're looking to join a league, improve your game at one of our camps, or compete in thrilling tournaments, Elite Sports has it all. Our certified coaches and top-notch facilities are ready to help you score big. Available this fall, winter, and spring. Don't wait. Sign up now to secure your spot. Visit NoCoFootball.com or call 970-460-4004 to learn more.
It's CSU Rams football on Power 102.9.
Back here to CBN Potts Restaurant and Tap Room. We are in Fort Collins for the Coors Light Jay Norvell Coaches Show. Great to have everybody with us. Brian Roth back with head coach Jay Norvell. During the last commercial break, we announced the latest winner of the Larry Lasasso Spirit Award. It's been presented since 1983, and it went to Don and Deirdre Cook. And we announced that. Congratulations to you guys. been to every bowl game. Apparently, Jace,
awesome.
Other than the 1949 Raisin Bowl.
That's
and
awesome.
Don't know what the excuse was there. But, hey, 1934 graduate was Larry Lasasso. And, man, he was one of the all-time great supporters of Colorado State University. So, again, congratulations.
Congratulations. That's awesome.
All right. Well, Colorado State sitting at 1-1 in the season. And, again, we mentioned a pivotal stretch coming up. 2 straight home games coming up in back-to-back weeks. Obviously, 3 home games in the non-conference. It starts with UTSA coming up on Saturday at 7:30 p.m. And let's talk a little bit about the Roadrunners. And you look at their offense. They're putting up 36 points per game. And, boy, Jay, this is an offense that returned, I think, 10 of 11 starters last year. They're explosive, aren't they?
Yeah, they're good. They're a good offensive team. McCown is their quarterback, and he comes from the McCown family from East Texas, a long line of quarterbacks. Jeff goes way back with their family in Jacksonville, Texas, and they got an excellent running back. They got an NFL running back in Henry, who he scored a 75-yard touchdown in 3 games straight. So they can really be explosive in the running game. We're going to have to do a good job of controlling these guys, and it's going to have to be a physical game. You know, they like to play a physical style. We know what they'd like to do. You know, we've put a big emphasis on that this week. You know, we're going to have to out-hit these guys. And I even brought my old, George Foster was Cincinnati Reds, big red machine.
Yeah, he had the big sideburns.
Yeah. I got a bat of his, a big black bat. It's an all-star bat that I got when I was a kid, and so I brought that in. We're going to give that to the Big Hit Award winner this week, and we hope we have to choose from a whole bunch of guys. But it's going to be really that's our first goal every week, is to out-hit our opponent. We're going to have to do a great job of taking care of the ball. You know, we did a pretty good job against Washington, but last week we did not. We had 2 special teams turnovers and 3 on offense. We can't play that way. That's got to get corrected. And then the running game is going to be really big in this game. You know, we need to outrush these guys. We need to control the line of scrimmage, the runs and completions. We need to pile up catches. And so there's a big emphasis on what we need to do in this football game. And it'll be a challenge, but it's one that we've been getting ready for. So,
I want to go back to their running back, Robert Henry Jr., and he's been in their program for a few years now as a junior college kid. He's averaging 160 rushing yards per game. That leads FBS. But Jay mentioned his big play ability. How about this from this kid? I know you know about the big runs. Did you know how they happened? Like this kid, game number 1 against Texas A&M, he had a 75-yard touchdown run on the first play of the third quarter. Against Texas State in Game 2, he had a 75-yard touchdown run on the second play of the third quarter. And last week against Incarnate Word, he had a 74-yard touchdown run on the third play of the third quarter. I'm just saying, watch out for him on the 4th play of the third quarter, Jay.
No doubt. We better get the ball first.
That's right. Half. I mean, it's just remarkable. I think sometimes you see stats like that, and they're just kind of funny.
They run a play that we run that a lot of teams run. It's called duo, but basically it's double teams up front, and the back kind of just reads the linebacker, and he breaks away from him. And he can really shift laterally and accelerate, and he's tough to bring down in the open field, and we have to do a good job of team defense. And I know that's one of the things, Tyson, we've talked about it last week, and we've been emphasizing it all week, is that we got to play team defense. We got to corral this guy. We got to play our gaps and not give him space to run. And the quarterback does a good job too. You know, he is a classic 1001, 1002 balls gone. And so it's difficult to get to him because he gets the ball away quickly. But we got to keep him in the pocket and cage him up and not allow him running room. And that's going to be important in this game as well. So we've been dialed in on these guys for a while, and we're anxious to get going on them.
Yeah, but I know you'd love to see a massive crowd on Saturday. I mean, the crowd for Ag Day was incredible. How about the student section on Ag Day? 15,000 students out there. It was a school record. They were awesome. Let's get a big crowd coming up on Saturday night.
Be awesome.
Yeah,
awesome.
You bet.
We need it.
Best of luck, Jay. Thanks so much.
Thank you, brother. Appreciate you.
That's head coach Jay Norvell. joining us here on the Coaches Show. We'll take a time out. When we come back here to CBN Potts, we will talk to Isaiah Hankins. He's the new place kicker at Colorado State. That's next on the Colorado State Sports Network from Learfield.
Raise a glass to Ram Pride with Cam's 1870 Rye Whiskey, the preferred whiskey of Colorado State University. Crafted locally by Iron Tin Distillery, this limited edition grain-to-glass whiskey is smooth, balanced, and full of spirit. A nod to CSU's founding year and bottled at 87 proof. Support CSU. Sip Cam's 1870 Rye Whiskey from Iron Tin Distillery. Ask for it at your local retailer. And always drink responsibly. Go Rams!
As the official credit union of CSU, Canvas is here to help you live your best Ram life. Our Rams Plus credit card gives you triple points on gas and groceries, but there's so much more. You get rewards when you buy Rams tickets, concessions, and anything from the campus bookstore to show your Ram pride. For us, it's about more than banking. It's about the green and gold. Learn more today at canvas.org.
Farm Bureau Insurance proudly celebrates 75 years of protecting what matters most to Colorado families. From our roots in farm and ranch insurance to decades of providing quality auto, home, business, and life insurance coverage for all, we've been keeping our promises since 1950. Much has changed in 75 years, but the Farm Bureau Insurance commitment to you remains stronger than ever. Farm Bureau Insurance is here to protect Colorado families for generations to come.
Friday Night Lights is back at CBN Potts. Join us Friday, September 26th for a community celebration beginning at 3 p.m. and continuing throughout the evening. Family fun for all and includes free live music by Funky Business. Cranking up at 5 o'clock. There's food and beverage tents, kids' bouncy houses, and face painters too. It's the perfect kickoff party for your CSU football weekend. Sorry, no fireworks this year, but it's still gonna be a blast. Join us September 26th at CBN Potts at Collindale.
It all starts with a handshake, and at FNIC it's just the first of many. While some health insurance brokers only show up once a year with the same old plan, FNIC teams up with you year-round, crafting innovative long-term strategies to control healthcare costs for your business and maximize benefits for your employees. Let's keep you ahead of the game so you're not trying to keep up. FNIC, trusted insurance advisors and proud to be an official sponsor of CSU Athletics. Connect with us today at fnicgroup.com. Not FDIC insured.
We're back in 90.
This is our first radio commercial ever, so bear with us. We're car wash people, not voice actors. But at Casey's Car Wash and Detail Center, we do one thing better than anyone else. We wash your car so you don't have to. Proud car wash sponsor of your CSU Rams, by the way. So get in here and let us make your car look like $1 million. Casey's Car Wash, Fort Collins. Full service, fully
Back in
awesome.
60.
Coors Light presents To Chill or Not to Chill, when your friend skips your favorite song on the playlist. End of friendship. Or choose chill because that song lives rent-free in your head anyway, and you're planned ahead by bringing Coors Light to the party. And the sound of that ice-cold can cracking open was music to your ears already. Coors Light. Choose chill.
Celebrate responsibly. 2025 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.
Lion Home Service is built right here in Fort Collins.
And we've earned trust across thousands of houses in northern Colorado.
Heating, cooling, plumbing, drains, electrical, and septic, we do it all. And we do it right.
I'm Bart Palmer, Colorado State alum and founder of Lion Home Service. Supporting the Rams just isn't a tagline, it's personal.
So whether it's game day or a Monday, we've got your back.
It's CSU Rams football on Power 102.9.
Colorado State Ram football. And a Coors Light Jay Norvell. Coach Joe will give Jay a little bit of a break, and we'll be bringing in student athletes and special teams coach Tommy Perry. Before we get to that, chance to remind you that tonight's show brought to you by Canvas Credit Union. And Canvas, it's about more than banking. It's about you and your goal. You can join the official credit union of CSU by visiting canvas.org/CSU. All right, please welcome our first student athlete. He is the place kicker for the Rams this year, Isaiah Hankins, joining us here on the show. Isaiah,
awesome.
Thanks for joining us. How are you?
Good. How you guys doing?
We're doing well here tonight, and great to have you. And the first thing I want you to do, because you came with guests, please introduce the two guests that you brought here tonight.
Yeah, so over here, this is my lovely wife, Sadie, and my son, he's 11 months old. This is Campbell.
Nice. Well, welcome. And they're not just new to the program here tonight. You guys are new to Fort Collins as a family, as Isaiah spent the last 4 years in Waco as really the primary place kicker for the Baylor Bears. Tell us about your college journey, because you were born and raised, or I shouldn't say born and raised. You're from Little Rock, Arkansas. You were there before you went to Baylor, but tell us about your collegiate journey.
Yeah, so I pretty much in high school, I obviously played football and stuff and potentially saw a future. And Sadie's family, actually, they were all Baylor people. She's got siblings and cousins there. And so we knew we were going to go to the same place because we did it all in high school and stuff. And so we ended up at Baylor. Freshman year was kind of crazy. I did not think there was any way I was going to be starting. We actually got to fall camp, and I wasn't even on the depth chart. And then fast forward, it just kind of took a crazy turn. I ended up playing as a true freshman, and then the sophomore year after that, and that was the first year was Baylor had a really good year, and I was like that was the best one they'd ever had, and I was like, okay, cool, this is what every year is going to look like, that's my only reference for college football. And so the next year, I ended up unfortunately having a bad game. The second game against BYU, it was a night game. Double overtime, missed a field goal, and got benched the rest of the season. And it was definitely a humbling experience, but not something I would say I would say it was a needed experience. After riding the high from freshman year, I think it was very humbling, and I think my career has looked different because of it.
Yeah.
And so leading after that, I picked up and played junior and senior year as well. And then after that, it was kind of time for the family, because we'd always been in Texas around, surrounded by Sadie's family, and my family came every weekend. And it was like, you know what, let's take the family on an adventure. And so we jumped in the transfer portal, and we really had no idea where we were going to go. And we were in there for a long time, just waiting and just seeing. We
just
had no idea.
Water.
Yeah, and then Colorado State called, took me out on a visit. We loved Fort Collins. We loved the coaches, all the players that I met while I was there. Obviously loved it all, and so that's how I ended up here, and it's been a great experience.
Yeah, well, absolutely. We're happy to have you here. Welcome to Fort Collins. I know you and your family are loving it. We haven't seen a whole lot of Isaiah yet here this season, but he has a ton of experience, and I want to go back to the mentality you have to have as a place kicker, because I imagine it's almost like a defensive back. You're on an island, right? You get out there, all eyes are on you, and you have to probably have a short memory, whether good or bad things are happening, right?
Totally, yeah. And I think we read a book this fall camp. It's called Flow, and one of the things, the main point is just when you're in the state of competition, when you're in the state of doing those things, you want to be fully there and fully in the moment when you do those things. And so finding a place where you're not trying so hard to focus and not trying so hard to just oh my gosh, don't miss this right now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's I see what I'm about to do. I see my small aiming point through the uprights, and then it just goes,
Yeah, I'm wondering if it helps having a family. And by the way, the place kicker the last couple of years for the Rams, Jordan Noyes. First off, Jordan was in his 30s. I know you're not in your 30s, but he was married with kids. But does it help your mentality as a place kicker, knowing that, hey, this isn't life or death, and it's not the end of the world, because I got two human beings at the end of this that are far more important than anything that happens on the field?
Definitely. Having a family and also having my faith, it's football is something that I do, and it's something that I really care about, and something that will never be short in effort and striving to be excellent. But that's definitely not who I am. And so it definitely helps, knowing who you are and seeing football and having a priority for that. And like I said, with my sophomore year, having such a hard year that year, I mean, man, that really put everything into perspective as well. You know, just like, okay, this is an occupation. This is the thing that I do. This is the thing that I love doing. But it definitely it's not me. You know, it's not who I am.
Talking to Isaiah Hankins, place kicker for the Rams from Little Rock, Arkansas, and transfer from Baylor. 46 career field goals make. I mean, that's it gives you an idea of the experience that he has, and I know that'll come in handy for the Rams here this year. Did you play soccer in high school?
I did.
You did? Okay.
Yeah, my whole life. That was
okay.
Yeah.
And then when did you pick up football then?
So my dad finally let me play in 7th grade, and then there was no kicking in 7th grade, and then 8th grade, you know, it was history after that.
So did you only kick? Because I mean, I'm looking at you, and this is a dude that's seen the inside of a weight room.
Well, I appreciate you saying that.
I mean, as far as kickers go, you're pretty jacked.
Okay, thank you. No, I played a little bit of safety, a little bit of receiver in high school. But it wasn't good enough to play at this level, that's for sure.
Right. Well, this is a high level for sure. All right. Hey, final thought. What are you studying? What are the plans after you graduate?
Yeah. So right now, I mean, I've already graduated. I graduated with a business management degree. So I'm a liberal arts major at Colorado State, and I mean, I'm not pursuing a master's or anything like that, but I am learning like all that I can, and definitely striving for excellence in the classroom. Afterwards, I mean, would like to take football as far as it can go,
sure.
Of course. And we're actually headed up to Delaware to train, and I've got a job lined up, and you know, just so there's not too much of a dead period. I got to provide for the family.
That's right. You do have a family. Well, Isaiah, great to have you here at Colorado State. Best of luck the rest of the year.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
All right. It's Isaiah Hankins, place kicker for the Colorado State Rams. We'll take a timeout. We'll talk to Brian Hansen, the punter. Comes up next. The Colorado State Sports Network from Learfield.
Being a Ram fan doesn't stop when the clock hits 0 and the game ends. It's every day, all day, home or away. With the new CSU Visa debit card free with any FNBO checking account, you can be one who lives it, one who proves it. Show your pride every time you pay with the CSU Visa debit card only at FNBO, an official bank of CSU Athletics. One for the loyal, one for the fans, one for you. Get yours today at fnbo.com/CSU. Member FDIC.
Coors Light presents To Chill or Not to Chill. When your friend skips your favorite song on the playlist. End the friendship. Or choose chill because that song lives rent-free in your head anyway. And you're planned ahead by bringing Coors Light to the party. And the sound of that ice-cold can cracking open was music to your ears already. Coors Light. Choose chill.
Celebrate responsibly. 2025 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.
This is Dan Kaplis. We are all endowed by our Creator with the right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. But one of the ways those rights get ripped away is by violence on our roadways. Our firm has a proven track record of making reckless drivers and their insurance companies pay in full for the devastation they've caused. We accept righteous cases on a percentage fee basis. If you need my help, please give us a call at 970-785-5000 or hit dankapleslaw.com.
Friday Night Lights is back at CB & Potts. Join us Friday, September 26th for a community celebration beginning at 3 p.m. and continuing throughout the evening. Family fun for all and includes free live music by Funky Business, cranking up at 5 o'clock. There's food and beverage tents, kids' bouncy houses, and face painters too. It's the perfect kickoff party for your CSU football weekend. Sorry, no fireworks this year, but it's still gonna be a blast. Join us September 26th at CB & Potts at Collindale.
Orthopedic and Spine Center of the Rockies has been a proud partner of Colorado State University athletics since 1969. With over 55 years of providing specialized orthopedic care to the Northern Colorado region and beyond, OCR is the largest privately owned orthopedic and spine group along the Front Range. From joint pain to sports injuries, our experienced specialists provide personalized care to help you get back to doing what you love. Visit orthohealth.com to start your journey to recovery today. OCR, the specialists in the medicine of motion.
Back in 90.
We all make plans for the future, like car accidents, break-ins, and unexpected fires can disrupt those plans. At Shelter Insurance, our agents help design insurance plans that work for you and help protect what matters most. To get started, Find an agent at shelterinsurance.com. Shelter Insurance. We're your shield. We're your shelter.
Back in 60.
Dear football fans, elevate your game with a tough-as-nails Toyota truck. Tacoma's a big-time playmaker. Tundra's a tailgating MVP that works hard and plays even harder. And the 4Runner's a Hall of Famer when it comes to rugged roads. Visit Toyota.com to learn more or check out your local Toyota dealership today. Toyota, let's go places.
Visit Peterson Toyota in Fort Collins today.
Back in 30.
You'll get more than you expect with McValue at McDonald's. Like deals on your late night go-tos when the party goes till dawn. And savings on their faves, so date night always passes the vibe check. Plus, when the fam shows up for the weekend, you can show out for breakfast. Buy one of your breakfast favorites like a sausage McMuffin with egg, hash browns, or sausage McMuffin and add one for $1. Price and participation may vary. Cannot be combined with any other offer. Single item at regular price.
It's CSU Rams football on Power 102.9. A couple more segments left here on the program tonight. We bring you back inside CBM Potts Restaurant and Tap Room. We're in Fort Collins tonight, and we're previewing the UTSA matchup with the Rams. Coming up on Saturday evening, 7:30 is the kickoff. All right, we're on to our second student athlete. How about a nice warm round of applause for Brian Hansen, the punter from Colleyville, Texas. Brian, how are you?
Good, thank you.
Yeah, Brian's from the Dallas Metroplex and is the starting punter. And you talk about CSU players, whether it be offense, defense, special teams, that are off to a great start. This young man is certainly that. He was terrific in Seattle. And you and I were talking about the punt you had out of the end zone against UNC where you just completely flipped the field. First-year punter. You've been behind Patty Turner. How does it feel to kind of take over the reins of the punting duties?
Yeah, it's exciting. You know, it was a great opportunity to back Patty for the last 3 years because he's an amazing human being and he's a good punter, and I learned so much from him and some of the other older guys in the room. And you know, I did kickoffs for the last 2 years, and to kind of segue into a bigger role, it's been cool, and I've definitely enjoyed the first 2 games so far.
Yeah, Brian did a great job on kickoffs. I think, you had like over 40 career touchbacks. And I was asking you, I said, did you and Isaiah compete for that place kicking job? And you said no. You've given up place kicking to focus on punting. Talk a little bit about that decision. Obviously, it's paying off through the early portions of this year.
Yeah, I just, when I came in here, I did all 3, kicking, punting, and kickoffs, and tried out all 3, and thankfully Coach Perry believed in me, and kind of got to the point where I just wanted to try something new, and I had been hitting the ball well punting, so just gave it a shot, and like I said, Perry believed in me, and it's been going well so far. So,
talking with Brian Hansen, the starting punter for Colorado State. How'd you end up at CSU from the Dallas area?
Yeah, so started kicking in high school. Wasn't until my junior year that I realized, maybe have a shot in playing college, and kind of felt like I was a little under-recruited in high school, and there's, not very many people took a chance, and thankfully this guy right here took a chance on me, and I believed in him, and he believed in me, and we were both going to go to UTSA, actually, and things happen, and thankfully like I said, he's trusted me since day one, and I followed him here, and it's been a blessing.
Yeah, for sure. For those of you that are watching on Facebook or the radio, he's pointing to Tommy Perry, special teams coach, who obviously has deep Texas ties. Talking to Brian Hansen, starting punter for Colorado State. This was a pretty cool fall for you, though, right? I mean, you came as a walk-on, but you're not a walk-on anymore.
Yep.
Tell us about that experience and what that means. On scholarship. Talking to a scholarship punter. I mean, the student athletes love it. Mom and dad love it probably even a little bit more.
They are very thankful for that. And, like I said, the coaches, they've trusted in me, and it's definitely been a relief and pretty cool to see a lot of years of hard work paying off. So I'm extremely grateful to the whole staff that have believed in me to this point. So.
All right, so let me guess, you were a soccer player too?
Yes, sir.
What else did you do in high school? Because, I mean, look, I was looking at Isaiah. Isaiah's been inside the weight room. And you're not a small dude either. I mean, you're what are you, 6'3"? And
yes, sir.
You've been inside the weight room. What other sports did you play?
Yeah, I played soccer growing up all the way to high school. Played a lot of basketball. Played tennis, did high jump and track, kind of just tried to do everything I could. And I think that really helped me get to the point I'm at today.
Yeah. And you're the holder too, right?
Yes, sir.
What is that like? Because I think long snapper and holder are two positions that get completely overlooked. Mm-hmm. But, I mean, you screw up, all eyes are on you. What's it like to hold? What's going through your mind when you're awaiting that ball?
I mean, I really enjoy it because, like we were talking about, I stepped away from field goals, but I still get to be kind of a part of that play. And, me and Isaiah have a fun time out there, and I think he's learned to trust me as we've kind of got more experience together. But, you get to be a part of another football play, and I really enjoy going out there. And so
yeah. Oh, you bet. You're off to a great start so far this year. Best of luck the rest of the year, Brian.
Thank you.
All right, that's Brian Hansen, starting punter and scholarship player for the Colorado State Rams. We'll take our final timeout. When we come back, Tommy Perry, special teams coach, will join us to close out the show right here on the Colorado State Sports Network from Learfield.
Some things never change. Hard work still matters. Integrity still counts. And community still built by people like you, who know what it means to show up and look out for each other. As a community bank, we share that same heart, the same belief that community is built to last. You know it when you feel it. Bank of Colorado. There's only one. Member FDIC.
Friday Night Lights is back at CB and Potts. Join us Friday, September 26th for a community celebration beginning at 3 p.m. and continuing throughout the evening. Family fun for all and includes free live music by Funky Business, cranking up at 5 o'clock. There's food and beverage tents, kids' bouncy houses, and face painters too. It's the perfect kickoff party for your CSU football weekend. Sorry, no fireworks this year. It's still gonna be a blast. Join us September 26th at CB and Potts at Collindale.
Since 1936, Markley Motors has been family-owned and operated and is currently woman-owned and in its fourth generation of ownership. If you're looking to drive home in a new Honda, Buick, GMC, or a pre-owned vehicle, Markley Motors makes it easy with a large selection of vehicles. With a 72-hour love it or leave it exchange policy, every fifth oil change free, complimentary car washes, and more, Markley Motors is the place to go. Visit Markley Motors and experience the difference today.
Hey Ram fans, it's football season and Fort Collins Family Eye Care, the official eye care provider for CSU Athletics, is your home for eye exams for all generations of CSU fans. With distinct technology and training, Dr. Jacqueline Munson and her team help you win against headaches, dry, irritated eyes, and the fear of losing vision. Gain the confidence you need and keep your competitive edge with Fort Collins Family Eye Care on your side. Join our family at FortCollinsFamilyEyeCare.com for your next eye exam. Go Rams!
Coors Light presents To Chill or Not to Chill. When your friend skips your favorite song on the playlist. End the friendship. Or choose chill because that song lives rent-free in your head anyway. And you're planned ahead by bringing Coors Light to the party. And the sound of that ice-cold can cracking open was music to your ears already. Coors Light. Choose chill.
Celebrate responsibly. 2025 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.
90 seconds.
Hi, I'm Alan Jansen from the historic Silver Grill Cafe in Old Town Fort Collins, home of the world-famous cinnamon roll. Our expert bakers handcraft each batch fresh every morning using a recipe that's been perfected over decades. They're rich, gooey, and full of real flavor. We serve over 12,000 a month, and each one is worth the trip. Try our unique roll of the month only at Silver Grill. Open daily, silvergrill.com. Go Rams!
Back in 60.
Calling all Ram fans. The Hilton Fort Collins offers beautifully appointed guest rooms with stunning views of the CSU campus and the Rocky Mountains. Our 3-meal Spring Creek restaurant and lobby bar offer a comfortable space to continue the post-game celebrations, or if a larger celebration is needed, book one of our 21 flexible meeting spaces, including the Colorado State University Ballroom, which seats 700 people. We have special CSU friends and family rates available year-round, and look forward to welcoming you to your new home away from home.
Back in 30.
Go Rams!
Every great team has a game plan. What's your game plan for retirement? Join us in person for a 2-night comprehensive retirement planning university course. It's interactive, instructor-led, and covers what you need to know when it comes to retirement planning, taxes, income strategies, common mistakes, and more. If retirement is the end zone, let us help you get there. Reserve your seat at helpingamericaretire.com. That's helpingamericaretire.com. Retirement Planning University is a nonprofit and not an accredited university. See website for disclosures. Go Rams!
All right, we welcome everybody back inside CB and Potts Restaurant and Tap Room. We're in Fort Collins. Final segment of the night. We saved the best for last, right? Please welcome Special Teams Coach Tommy Perry
I'll take it.
to the program.
I'll take it, yeah.
Of course, we had a couple of the kids had heat coaches, Isaiah Hankins and then Brian Hansen, the punter. Did you know that Brian Hansen leads the nation?
I did know that. It's good that you brought that up.
I wanted to save it for
we
you.
don't punt a lot, so we're not in the stat.
Five.
We're not in the national stats because we don't punt enough. But if we did, we'd be number 1 or number 2, depending on how you look at it. Brian's absolutely killing it.
Yeah, I'm looking at it. He's averaging what, like 57
So
yards
let's
per
keep
punt?
the punts long, but let's keep the number short.
That's right.
Right?
That's
So we're
how you
doing
do it.
okay. Yeah.
You don't want to be the team with a lot of punts.
No.
Brian, you look like a great dude. You look good in your uniform, but the less that we have to see you, the better.
Right.
I think is the way it goes with you. Tommy, talk a little bit about these two guys, though, and I know, you know, when you're a special teams coach, you have a smaller group that you're working with on an everyday basis, but then obviously you're working with a lot of the other guys when it comes to the special teams.
I have the best job in the world, and I say that for a lot of reasons. One, I get to coach everybody. So there's really 77 positions that I coach, along with the help of a fantastic assistant coaching staff. But then, my small group is our specialist, and we get to coach them in a very different way. You know, I wasn't a specialist. I was a fullback. I was a linebacker. All right, but I realized pretty quickly as I looked around, and I wanted to be a coordinator before I turned 30. That was a big deal. Unfortunately, that was a long time ago. But I didn't expect it necessarily to be a special teams coordinator, but that was the avenue that I could have. So I wanted to be an FBS coordinator before I was 30. And I looked around, and most coordinators for special teams didn't know much about kicking or punting or snapping, and I certainly was one of them. So I got all the instructional videos I could get. I talked to all the kicking gurus I could, and then I really humbled myself, took a bag of balls into the indoor facility and really reminded myself why I played linebacker and fullback. Guys, imagine, and I know there's probably a lot of golfers. There's a golf course, I think, right behind me, right? I don't get a lot of time off, but I would imagine, I think there's a golf course behind me. It's and I totally understand. I was the same way when I was a player and growing up in a coaching family and all that stuff, right? It's like, hey, do your job, do what you do, right? I mean, golfers, professional golfers, that's what they do, right? They swing all the time, right? But imagine, the ability to focus on the first tee, at the Masters with that many people looking at you. I mean, and I'm not, they work really hard. They do all the things they're supposed to do. But that is the mindset. That is the amount of pressure. And we don't avoid it. We don't say there's no pressure or anything like that. We embrace it. We look at it. We don't try to, and I think Isaiah did a really good job talking about that stuff. We don't shut that voice out. We just help guide it to what it is that, we want it to say. And these guys are tremendous at it. They really are. There's no way I could do the things that they do. I'm really, really happy. I'm really proud to be associated with them.
Yeah, the guys at the Masters, though, when they're on the first tee, they don't have 250-pound dudes running at them either, right? I mean,
that's a good point. Yeah,
geez.
Valid point. You're right. Yeah, I was giving the golfers an easy pass. You're right.
That's right. Yeah, those golfers have no idea what it's like to kick fields. I was talking to Tommy Perry, special teams coordinator here at Colorado State. I want to go back to last week, and you have a punt returner in Tommy Marr, who's going to be a great player and already is. Yeah. And I think Tommy Marr is gonna have a couple of big games at punt returner. What do you say to a kid like that when you have a game that he had and pump him up?
Right.
Because you guys kept putting him out there, which shows the confidence that you have in him.
And he responded, in a tough deal. It's so much that position, really all positions. I've never I've never felt as appreciated, I've never felt as supported by a head coach as I do with Coach Norvell, having worked for him now for 2 times. I worked for a lot of different head coaches, and there's certainly not a better person and a better guide. He says, especially, early in the season, go with guys who you trust. And as far as someone who it means so much to, and someone who puts the time in, he's not catching punts a few times during practice. He's catching punts before practice. He's catching punts during practice. He's catching punts after practice. He's in the off season catching punts. I'm holding a spray bottle in his face, spraying him. I'm throwing med balls at him as he's trying to catch the football. There is nobody that cares quite as much as Tommy. It's really hard to imagine, and it's easy to forget. Torrey Horton dropped a few punts, we stuck with him, and he turned out to be one of the best punt returners in the country. And players need to be coached. There's a technique to how to coach the football, and Tommy would tell you, you got to beat the ball to the spot. You got to have both feet in the ground. You got to have fingertips eye level. You got to have your elbows tight. You got to get your numbers to the football. He can tell you, and he can recite all those things. When he did muff it was because he didn't do those things. That's it. But what I see in practice, day after day after day, means I trust the guy, and I know he's just going to continue to get better, because when you care about that returner, up front, when you're blocking and you're holding up, and as a coach, you just try it just a little bit harder.
Yeah.
You do.
Well, and let's not forget, he had a great return against UNC that was going to set up the offense that, going to be inside the 30-yard line.
And he'll do it again.
Yeah, right.
And he'll do it again.
Tommy Perry, special teams coordinator here at Colorado State, joining us. You mentioned UTSA earlier. You were with Jay and the coaching staff at Nevada and went to UTSA for 2 years with Coach Jeff Traylor. Mm-hmm. So you have some insight on the opponent.
I have some insight. Yeah, I have some insight. Really great program. We won a lot of ball games there. I met my wife, Roberta, there in San Antonio, and my girls. Thank you. Hardest worker in the Perry household for sure. Girls were there in San Antonio, and it was good. We won a lot of football games, won a conference championship. I'm going to say it again. I have never worked for a better person. I've never felt so supported and have a lot of control with guidance from the head coach. But I've never been happier professionally than being here. So it was a good move. But really grateful for the time I spent and the things that I learned. From UTSA as well.
Yeah, indeed. Well, we're happy to have you here in Fort Collins. About 60 seconds left, and I want to talk more about a couple of those special team stalwarts. How good has Lloyd Avant been on kickoff returns?
Yeah, he's awesome.
I know he housed one last year.
He's really good. Yeah, I just watched that game. Yeah, I watched that, and then I watched. This is mind blowing. I watched the Tulsa versus UTSA game last night on the couch with the family. Tulsa was down 35-7 at halftime. They knocked out their starting quarterback there at Tulsa, and they somehow came back to win the football game. It was really, it was pretty incredible. So, I got to talk to Lloyd about that game and, some of the situations there. But, Lloyd's a special guy. Very similar to Tommy, just stays after and works all summer, all spring. And we've helped design some of our returns rather than trying to fit him into the things we've been doing, because we had a really great returner. We housed one against Washington State and all that kind of stuff in the past. But we've kind of helped change what we do. As you'll see, what Brian does punt-wise is different than what Patty's done. Right? And that's a good thing. That's what he does. Same thing, kickoff return. We've adjusted a lot of what we did on kickoff return, for Lloyd.
Yeah, you bet. Tommy, thanks so much. We could do probably a full hour with Coach Perry, and maybe we'll get you back later in the series. Appreciate it. Thanks so much. All right, that's Tommy Perry. He's a special teams coordinator for the Colorado State Rams. That's going to do it for the broadcast here tonight. Thank you to Isaiah Hankins, Brian Hansen, and, of course, head coach Jay Norvell. Brian Wild saying so long. We'll talk to you Saturday night out at Canvas Stadium.
This has been the Coors Light Jay Norvell Coaches Show, brought to you by Coors Light, Mountain Cold Refreshment. Choose chill. Golden, Colorado. Celebrate responsibly. CB and Potts Restaurant and Tap Room. This is where football fans celebrate. Meet your friends at CB and Potts, Collindale. And by Canvas Credit Union, official credit union of Colorado State Athletics. The preceding has been a Learfield presentation on the Colorado State Sports Network.